Hey, Louqman, it's good to see you. I have and some of the folks on my side of the business, the buy side, have strong opinions and firm positions about the need for cross-screen measurement. I think it's important to understand the sell side perspective, and given your role within Roku and the importance of Roku to the buy side, increasingly important partner in the buy side. Tell us a little bit about your perspective on cross-screen measurement.
Yeah, I mean, our perspective is likely not very different from what you're talking about or what you're hearing on the buy side. I mean, from our perspective, the most important thing that we talk about and that we hear from our customers, from our partners, primarily on the TV side, is the need for holistic reach and frequency measurement. And if you go to more performance-savvy advertisers and performance-savvy customers, the questions are about understanding cross-screen exposures to business outcomes or KPIs that the marketer may need, right? So a lot of our focus is around that. And the challenge is primarily because now we have a very fragmented landscape where consumers are consuming content across multiple devices: desktop, mobile, connected TV, and more traditional media such as linear TV, right? And buyers can buy media across those platforms, often making it very hard for buyers to understand the incremental value of each of those touch points, each of those exposures. And there are a number of factors that play into that. And we think quite a bit about how to make it better for buyers to improve and enhance cross-screen measurement, right? The factors that oftentimes impact it are the data sets that are used for measurement, the exposure data collected across all of these channels, whether it is ACR data or set-top box data, pixel-based and log-based data that you collect from digital exposures, conversion data, whether it is online or offline, and whether you have the right privacy, opt-in consent and privacy compliance against it. We often look at identity and how you can actually provide a better identity graph and identity capabilities that is more rooted in consumer connections and first-party data relationships to actually create better cross-screen measurement. And then the third factor that we spend a lot of time thinking about and working with partners is about the methodology itself, right? What is the methodology employed to measure across all of these data sets that we ingest and ultimately build out a cross-screen measurement product? So the challenge primarily we see is not very different from what the buy side has been talking about, right? Which is most measurement partners don't have all of these data assets and identity graph capabilities and the methodology all buttoned up for a complete solution. And with the landscape changing with the evolution of the third-party cookie world and even the recent announcement around how even IP addresses are going to be increasingly hard, it's harder to do a credible job. And our focus, especially within where I work, our focus is to use our first-party relationships, our direct relationships with consumers to create or to work with partners, other measurement partners, to provide the kind of cross-screen measurement solution that the buy side is actually asking for, which includes everything from holistic reach and frequency measurement to potentially to measuring performance or outcomes across a variety of screens.
So you just mentioned the fragmentation and all the challenges in doing this cross-screen, given all the different touch points consumers have with video. So you tell me, when in fact will we have this solved, or is it unreasonable to think that we will have a solve, that we're going to have to sort of progress with incremental solutions and basically do the best that we can until these data sets and technologies mature?
I mean, Matt, I would like to tell you that we'll get to a day very quickly where we can all get up one fine morning and say, we have solved for cross-screen measurement. Like most hard problems, that is not going to be the case. It is going to be an evolutionary improvement on how we measure, how we improve our capabilities, and how we work with, how the ecosystem itself works with each other, because these are different data sets, often not controlled by a single party that needs to come together, right? And that's where on the publishers, on the platform side, on the publisher side, we take an approach of working very closely with measurement partners, third-party measurement partners that are moving in that direction. And we are looking at ways in which we can partner better in a privacy compliant way to offer these solutions. But I don't think there is a question about nature of how this is going to be resolved. This is going to be incremental. We'll make, there's already some good work done around reach and frequency across a number of platforms and measurement partners, and adding better capabilities and truly offering holistic reach and frequency is something multiple folks are working around. Even Nielsen, who we recently did a strategic alliance with, have talked about moving in the direction of creating a cross-media currency, and that is something we are also closely watching.
I mean, we've been talking about this for several years. So the question then becomes, help me remain hopeful and optimistic. Tell me when you think we'll have significant progress, because without holistic measurement, it's really difficult to plan. It's really different to value. It's really difficult for the buy side to look forward towards an outcome-based media investment world. Tell me why I should be hopeful and optimistic.
There are a few reasons for that, right? Increasingly, it is clear to a lot of folks on the sell side that is the single biggest challenge that we are all facing in terms of moving more media dollars to come to different platforms. Like on the connected TV, I can talk about the connected TV side and the Roku side, right? Because connected TV is, again, a new platform, a new way of consuming content for the consumers, right? And that in some ways adds up to the fragmentation. And what we have done on our side is, make it easy for us to actually have identifiers around data that is privacy compliant, that you can actually get consent from the user early on for both targeting and measurement purposes. And then we actually kickstarted both a first-party measurement program where we work with unique data sets like consented data around automatic content recognition, or ACR, which is important to collect data on linear viewership, right? Oftentimes the challenge with cross-screen measurement is the linear viewership or TV data is very different from digital data, which you can collect through pixels and log files. And what we have done is we have invested in building an ACR-based capability where you can we can collect at scale data that is opted in and consented from the user to understand the reach and frequency on the linear side, then overlay that with data that you collect from the connected TV side and other OTT platforms, and then mobile and desktop and so on. So increasingly the data sets are there. The graph capability, the identity capability to stitch together these distinct and discrete data sets are there. It is about more partnership and a collective vision in the industry across not just building it, but also driving adoption around it. A lot of these capabilities are being talked about in the market. We also need buy-side innovation and excitement in actually testing it out and moving very quickly and iterating around it, right? Tough problems are solved when both sides of we have everybody clapping at the same time.
Yeah, I think the buy side, we tend to be more settlers versus pioneers, but we at GroupM are pushing forward on testing and increasing the amount of budget that we look to test across these different measurement platforms, especially as we look at the accelerated shift from linear into digital environments. We're a little bit more optimistic about being able to measure what's happening on those digital environments, but across being able to take it from linear and do reach and frequency into digital environments is where we're looking for help, and we're excited about some of the work you're doing on your end. And hopefully the three words I always say matter most with companies is self-interest rules, but hopefully the industry can come together and understand that a collaborative effort can help accelerate the migration and solve some of the challenges, so that the buy side is more comfortable with shifting investment from demos into audiences and moving the marketplace forward.
That's right, Matt, and that's how we have looked at it longer term. There is a class of buyers who buy around demos, around reach and frequency, which is fine. I mean, we do want to cater to the different set of buyers out there. They have different goals, whether it's brand goals or performance goals. In the sense, connected TV, the space I am rooted in, I'm spending all of my time in, is unique, right? You can actually do top of the funnel brand measurement and do brand campaigns at the same time it brings the best of digital, where you can go bottom of the funnel and do performance measurement at the same time. So we are invested in both, and we are working on capabilities. We have some of these capabilities. We've actually taken those to market. We have worked with partners on them, and we are continuing to augment and enhance our platform to support that. And like to what we said earlier, it is about data sets, collecting data in a privacy compliant way and stitching it together across all of those platforms, and then ultimately building the methodology and the blocks to do cross-screen measurement.
Yeah, Nirvana for us is an audience first approach to a holistic video investment plan and measurement and being able to value the delivery against those plans. So I feel a little bit better than I did earlier this morning. So thank you for sharing some of that insight with me.
Yep. Yeah. That is exactly our message to the market too. That is where we want the market to get to.
Louqman, tell me more about the recently announced alliance with Nielsen. How's that good for the buy side?
Great question. It's good for both the buy side, sell side, and the ecosystem overall, we think. But I'll talk a bit about that. So what happened? We did recently announce, it's been almost 2 months now, that we acquired Nielsen's advanced video advertising division, which includes their video ACR, automated content recognition, and dynamic ad insertion technologies. So in many ways, this acquisition will accelerate our launch of an end-to-end, DAI, or linear addressable dynamic ad insertion capability, which will unlock the power of data-driven ad buying on traditional TV, right? So as a buyer, when you buy on traditional TV, you typically buy very contextually against content, against shows, against channels, right? That has been the history, and it has been measured all over on age and gender that we talked about. We want to actually take linear to the world of digital, which is what DAI is promised us, and effectively you can replace a national or regional ad at the household level with the same targeting and data that marketers have come to expect from TV streaming advertising, right? And we believe this again is a step forward for traditional TV and opens up new ad opportunities for other programmers, sell side, but it also opens up all the data targeting and measurement capabilities that marketers, that buy side has historically wanted, right? And we can bring these addressable TV exposures into this cross-screen measurement solution that we have been talking about, right? And the second part of the Nielsen alliance is basically that. It's one part of it is the acquisition of the advanced video advertising division. The second part is an alliance with Nielsen to actually work together between Roku and Nielsen to accelerate work to actually improve their cross-screen measurement product, which they are already investing in, and we can help with some of the connected TV footprint that can drive better accuracy and scale for Nielsen as they build out this cross-screen measurement capability.
Give me an example, if you wouldn't mind. And we always use this sort of pet food, you're a cat home or a dog home, or you don't have a pet. Mm-hmm. So is it, or, rural, urban, suburban, car buyer. Mm-hmm. Is that are those the sort of creative executions we're looking at that could be informed by data and delivered to households depending on those signals?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there are two kinds of executions that we have talked about around dynamic ad insertion, which is one is creative testing and creative swapping, the same advertiser, but a creative that resonates more with the household, targeted for that household, because now that ad opportunity, that ad request that could generate from the linear part of a Roku TV that you're watching is not any different from the ad opportunity generated from the connected TV app. So it is a very digital ad opportunity where you have all of the signals that can be used to do better targeting on that particular user. So yeah, one use case is definitely the idea about better creative execution within the same advertiser set to provide a more targeted creative to the end user, to the household. The second one is actually, even going beyond that and do more specific targeting of a separate campaign itself, a separate flight itself that is more relevant, that could potentially be higher CPM for the sell side, and could be again targeted ads that you would not otherwise be able to target I don't know, on audience, on day part, on linear, right? You're relying completely on the context and the channel where the ad would show up. So this is an opportunity to take even your digital targeted ad campaigns and put it on linear if you are on the buy side.